Hi guys, my name is Bridget, and I'm here to talk to you today about a little DIY project that I decided to do smack dab in the middle of the holiday season. As if the holidays were not crazy enough, I decided to repaint these kitchen cabinets. They didn't always look like that. This is what they looked like prior to. Ugly, right? Well, maybe not so ugly, but a little old school. So I decided that I would give them a little bit of a facelift. In the next few minutes, I will be walking you through the process of preparing the cabinets, painting the cabinets, and the finishing touches. To start, you are going to remove everything from the kitchen cabinets. All of your dishes, plates, pots, cups, and glasses. Once that is complete, you are going to wipe down the cabinets with a little bit of TSP mixed with water. Half a cup to 2 gallons of hot water. Once you've wiped them down, you may need to just re-wipe them down again with just plain water. Once everything is wiped down, you are going to start removing all of the hinges, the doors, and any of the locking devices inside the cabinets. When removing the doors, you want to go ahead and use some painter's tape and a magic marker and label which doors go to which cabinets. This will help with the reassembling of the doors after you have completed your painting project. I used a number and a letter system, such as 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, so on and so forth. While you have the painter's tape handy, go ahead and start to tape off any areas that you do not want paint to get on, such as the counters, the walls, the ceilings, the backsplash, and so on. Now comes the fun part, the sanding. I recommend doing as much of this sanding outside as you possibly can because it is going to get dusty. The frame is obviously something that you have to sand inside, but at least you can take the doors and the drawers outside if it's nice out. Now, remember, I am just giving the cabinets a facelift, so I will not be sanding the inside of the cabinets or painting the inside of the cabinets. You can use a fine grit sandpaper. I used 180. Just enough to scuff the cabinets so this way the primer and the paint will adhere better. After sanding the cabinets down, you must clean the cabinets afterwards. So to clean the cabinets, I took a shop vac and I went ahead and I shop vaced all the areas that I sanded. After that, you might have a little bit of remaining dust, so you need to go ahead and take a tack cloth and go ahead and wipe down the area as well, so this way it can pick up any remaining dust that the vac left behind. Once you have done all the preparations, you can begin the process of painting. The first part of the painting process is that you need to prime the area in which you will be painting. I used a primer that was good for interior purposes. I also used an oil-based paint, so I used a primer that was good with oil-based paint. You can use latex paint for this project, but a family friend who is a painter by trade recommended that I use oil-based paint. Now, you all might be wondering why I didn't have him just paint the kitchen cabinets. Good question. I'm wondering that myself now, too. After the cabinets are primed, you can go ahead with your painting. I decided to use a roller, and it's a sponge roller to be exact, and I also used a small paintbrush to get in the crevices and the areas close to the counters and walls. The foam paintbrush allows for the paint to settle on its own. This way you are not left with streak marks or roller marks. Allow each coat to dry completely. Oil-based paint takes a little bit longer to dry than latex paint, so be careful. If it's still tacky, it's still wet. Go ahead and wait a little bit longer. Once the first coat is completely dry, you can go ahead and apply the second coat. After all is dry, you can start to reassemble the kitchen cabinets. I decided to update my hardware. Now, here's a little piece of advice. Make sure that you get the hardware with the same amount of holes for the screws, such as the same spacing for the hinges and the number of screws for the handles. Otherwise, you are going to have to start drilling new holes, and that's a whole other project. After installing all the hardware and rehanging the doors, you can start to put your cabinets back together. You can start to put all your dishes, pots, pans, glasses, and cups back in there. So, in the last few minutes, we've talked about how you prep, paint, and replace your kitchen cabinets so that way you can give them a nice little facelift. All that you have left to do now is sit back and enjoy them. That is until you decide you don't like the color of the walls. So, I guess you know what I will be doing in the next few weeks to come. Thanks, guys. Take care.